tackle you in gaseous exchange in plants and animals. And that is second topic, Form 2, Biology, and it's very, very examinable. So come with me. I'm going to start by defining gaseous exchange, whereby gaseous exchange is just the exchange of gases, that is CO2 and oxygen, through the respiratory surfaces. It's just the exchange of gases, that is CO2 and oxygen, across the respiratory surfaces. We have gaseous exchange in plants, and we have gaseous exchange in animals differently. So, because the topic is a broad topic, I'm going to start with gaseous exchange in plants. Gaseous exchange in plants. So, gaseous exchange in plants, the exchange of CO2 and oxygen in plants specifically. Now, we are going to start with the process, different processes that acquire the gaseous exchange processes. So, we're going to start during photosynthesis. Plants acquire CO2 for that process called photosynthesis. And the byproduct is oxygen. As we all know that at data, plants acquire CO2 for photosynthesis process, and the byproduct produces oxygen. Photosynthesis is just the process whereby plants make or manufacture their own food for use in the same plant. We say that all know that plants require food for proper growth and functioning. Without food, without photosynthesis, then there is no functioning or any growth of a plant. So it requires CO2. Then metabolic processes or activities, that is photosynthesis. What is released is oxygen. This oxygen released after photosynthesis, a byproduct, is still used in the same plant for respiration. So oxygen acquired as a byproduct from photosynthesis, then it's used for respiration process. Then the byproduct will be now CO2. I want to explain a bit here. When the CO2 is acquired for photosynthesis in a plant, which is very necessary, then the byproduct is oxygen. This oxygen is not going to be eliminated fully, but just part of oxygen. Like for example, if the elimination of oxygen is like 100%, then 60% are left minus transferred, or left minus eliminated. Now the 40% is eliminated to the atmosphere. What about the 60%? These 60% are acquired for the process of respiration in the same plant. I want to explain something, because after photosynthesis, that is manufacture of food, plants can use that food minus being respired, because as we all know that phloem is responsible for translocation, that is transport of food from one part of a plant, from a liver plant to one part of the body of organism. And also, we said that phloem is only responsible to transport or translocate, dissolve food substances from one part of the plant, that is from the liver where they are manufactured, to the part of a plant for proper growth and development. So, after that, the only 40% are going to be eliminated, just a portion of it, but the higher percentage is going to be used in the same plant for respiration purposes. Now the byproduct is going to be CO2. That is our plants acquire gaseous exchange. They receive CO2 and produces eliminated or produces oxygen. Eliminates or produces oxygen. So the same oxygen is used for respiration. After that, we're going to discuss on how we have respiratory surfaces. We have respiratory surfaces in plants. Respiratory surfaces in plants. We have different respiratory surfaces in plants. Number one, we have stomata. And stomata is formed in a leaf of a plant. Then number two, we have lenticels. Lenticels are found in the stem of a plant. Then we have number three, we have what we call root. As the name suggests, it's the root of a plant. E.g., specifically in plants growing in muddy areas. the gaseous section takes place through the root. Stomata, we have very many plants or different types of plants which gaseous section takes place through the root. The stomata, that is the leaves. Then we have few or some plants that gaseous section do take place through the lenticels, that is the stem. So we are going to discuss something about stomata because it's most of the plants gaseous section takes place through the stomata. Stomata is just a tiny pore that can't be seen by bare eyes. You must use a microscope to see it. So you can't just see by bare eye. Those small pores are found in the leaf, as said before. So, by just a sketch, we have, I want to explain something. Just want to explain something. About the stomata. Stomata in the leaf. Stomata in the leaf. Now, it's just a sketch about the stomata in the leaf. Stomata in the leaf. This one is called stomata. This tiny pore found in the leaf of a plant is called a stomata. Then we have what we call gut cell. Gut cell. This just cell that embedded or surrounding the stomata, that pore. Then we have the epidermal cell. In this gut cell we have chlorophyll, chloroplast. Then we have chloroplast. Then we have nucleus of the gut cell. With this, I'm going to explain something. This is just a pore that can be seen by the bare eye. That is a stomata. You must use a microscope to see it. So, how gaseous section takes place here? We have different types of plants. That we have xerophytes. We have hydrophytes. We have mesophytes. Xerophytes are plants that grows in arid or semi-arid areas, that is in dry areas. Hydrophytes in aquatic areas, that inside the water. Then we have mesophytes also in aquatic area, but not inside the water. So hydrophytes, they have plenty supply of water. Then mesophytes also the same, having plenty of water because they also grow in aquatic areas. Then xerophytes in semi-arid areas. According to the stomata, you can be asked different questions about it. How the distribution of stomata in xerophyte plants or xerophyte leaves. Because the xerophytes, the supply of water is very insufficient, and if you ask about how the distribution of stomata in xerophyte leaves or xerophyte plants, you argue by saying that because that they have insufficient supply of water, so the distribution of stomata on the upper side of a leaf will be fewer as compared to the lower side of the leaf to reduce transpiration rate. And transpiration is the process whereby plants loses water in form of a water vapor to the atmosphere. So the upper side should be fewer than the lower to reduce the rate of transpiration. Then about hydrophyte, the distribution of the stomata in the leaves is that the distribution of stomata on the upper side is many, or has the higher number of the upper side of the leaf than the lower side of the leaf to increase the transpiration rate, because you want to lose a lot of water because there is plenty of water. So there is a water supply plenty of water supply is sufficient. So the stomata, the distribution of stomata will be that on the upper side of the leaf there will be very many or numerous number of stomata as compared to the lower side. When we are talking about mesophytes, these are just plants also growing in an aquatic area but not inside the water. So they also have the plenty of water or the supply of water. So the distribution of stomata is that on the upper side of a leaf, there is the upper side of the leaf, the stomata is numerous as compared to the lower side of the leaf. So, after that, you can also be asked about 20 marks about theories explaining the opening and closing of the stomata. Theories explaining the opening and closing of the stomata. Number one of the theories, we have the photosynthetic theory. Photosynthetic theory. Photosynthetic theory is all about sugar formation. Sugar formation. Is all about sugar formation. This theory tries to explain that if you ask about this thing, they want you to narrate at day and also at night. So we are talking about at daytime, the photosynthetic theory at daytime. It tries to explain about the sugar formation in the gut cells. So photosynthetic theory just trying to explain that at daytime, now we are talking about daytime, because of the presence of sunlight, there is presence of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis do take place where there is sunlight. So at daytime there is sunlight, photosynthesis takes place in the gut cell. Because that gut cell we saw that presence of chlorophyll, that means the site of photosynthesis is present. So during daytime, photosynthesis occurs. And after photosynthesis has occurred, the byproducts, one of the byproducts is glucose. Glucose or sugar. You call them glucose. So the byproduct of after photosynthesis is glucose. So glucose is going to be produced in the gut cell. Then the gut cells now will be concentrated because of the glucose. That means the inner side of the glucose, after glucose has diluted, like glucose is there formed there inside the gut cell. The gut cells will contain now the solution, all of the gut cells will be containing glucose solution, making the gut cell to be hypertonic solution, hypertonic solution, as compared to the outer side, that is the epidermal cell, which will now be hypotonic solution, as you compare to the inner side of the cell, the gut cell. So with this, because of or due to osmosis process, the water will be moving from hypotonic solution to the hypertonic solution. I mean, water will be now moving from the epidermal cell, the outer side of the gut cell, drawn into the gut cell. Now water will be drawn into the gut cell because of the hypotonic solution to hypertonic solution. After this, the gut cell will swell, then will become turgid, the rigidity of the gut cell. Then the opening will be barged outside. That is the opening of the stomata at daytime. We are going to look at the that's opening of the stomata at daytime according to photosynthetic theory. So we are going to at night. At night, according to photosynthetic theory, it explained that at night, due to absence of sunlight, photosynthesis does not take place. Due to this, there will be no formation of sugar because there is no photosynthesis that has occurred. So what will happen? The inner side of the gut cell will be hypotonic as compared to the outer side of the cell, which is the epidermal cell, will be hypertonic. That will lead to the, through osmosis, water will be moving from hypotonic inside the gut cell to hypertonic outside the gut cell, that is the epidermal cell. Then after losing water, when the gut cell losing water, the gut cell will become, after losing water, it will shrink or become plasmolized or flaccidity of the cell, hence plasmolysis. Then with that, the opening of the stomata will automatically close because the water will be withdrawn outside the cell to the surrounding, that is epidermal cell. So that is the closing of the stomata according to photosynthetic theory. We are going a bit faster. We are going to the second theory. Second theory at day. Second theory is starch. We have starch interconversion theory. Interconversion theory. conversion theory. This talks about the pH, changing of pH. This theory states that at daytime, photosynthesis will occur because of the presence of sunlight. Due to the CO2, a lot of CO2 is used or unused in the photosynthesis process to make their own food. With continuous use of CO2, the pH will increase the pH level, hence reduces the acidity level. As the pH increases, then the acidity level decreases. With this, the starch is converted to sugar or glucose. Then the gut cells will continue. The solution inside the gut cell will be hypertonic because of the presence of the glucose formed. Then the inside the cell, the gut cell that is going to become hypertonic as compared to outside the gut cell that is epidermal cell. Then the water will be flowing from outside to the inside cell, then causing the turgidity of the cell. That causes the opening to bulge outside, that is the opening of the stomata at daytime, according to starch interconversion theory. What about at night? At night, about the starch interconversion theory, it said that obviously because there is lack of sunlight at night, photosynthesis will not occur. Then the glucose that was formed during daytime by photosynthesis, presence of photosynthesis, will now converted to starch. When the gut cell, the solution is converted to the starch inside the gut cell, then the gut cell become hypotonic solution as compared to hypertonic in the surrounding, that is the epidermal cell. Through osmosis, water will be moving from hypo to hypertonic solution. That is from the gut cell to the outside the gut cell, that is the epidermal cell. Then the epidermal cell will acquire a lot of water. Yes, the gut cell will lose water to the epidermal cell. That will cause the shrinking or plasmolysis of the gut cell, hence the closing of the stomata. Lastly, we are going to talk about the last theory we call it. The last theory is potassium ion theory. Potassium ion theory. Theory at daytime. The potassium ion theory talks about we talk about the potassium, movement of potassium and hydrogen ion. The theory said that during the day, photosynthesis do occur because of the presence of light. So the glucose is formed yet as the rest, the glucose are formed as normal. Then the blood cells is becoming hypertonic solution. With this hypertonic solution in the gut cell, the osmotic pressure will rise. And with the photosynthesis that has occurred, there is a release of energy produced after the photosynthesis has occurred. There is energy produced. This energy will raise the osmotic pressure in the blood cell, which will allow the water moving from the outside the blood cell, that is the epidermal cell, into the gut cell, drawing of water from epidermal cell into the gut cell because of the osmotic pressure and the presence of adenosine triphosphate. With this, the gut cells in the gut cell will gain a lot of water, hence the rigidity of the cell, then the opening of the stomata, since the opening will bulge outside the opening of the stomata. At night is now vice versa. At night, according to potassium ion theory, at night we lack photosynthesis, we don't have photosynthesis that occurs because of the absence of the sunlight. So with this, the potassium is already found in the gut cell, while the outside the cell we already have the hydrogen ion which was released from the gut cell at daytime. So with this, because the gut cell will now, the sugar will now turn to the starch, inside the gut cell the concentration will be hypo as compared to outside that with hypertonic solution. Now the hydrogen from outside, hydrogen ion from outside will now be gained, or that cell will gain hydrogen ion from outside, that is epidermal cell, as well as losing the potassium ion inside the gut cell to the epidermal cell. Now that is the closing of the stomata at datum. Any question, anything, you can just ask. That is the end of our discussion of today. And thank you for watching till the end. And bye.